Students, and welcome back to today's live IELTS session. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in the Garden City of Canada. I hope that all of you are having an outstanding weekend so far. Welcome, Fuang, Domenico. Nice to see members. Anna, Ayush, Nipa. Nice to see many of our viewers in the class and on time, which makes a lot of sense since the topic for this IELTS speaking part 3 session is time and organization, which is no surprise. We just completed speaking part 2 class half an hour ago. That was talking about a time that you had to arrive early. Speaking part 3 is a continuation of speaking part 2. And so it's no surprise that time and organization is connected to talking about a time you arrived early. This lesson, like all lessons, are brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. Again, both of these websites have the materials, the resources, for these live classes. They power these live sessions. We use them in these classes. We will use them to speak to each other. This is our academic IELTS website here. Click the big red button that's just right above my head there to join the premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We're an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. You are in excellent hands with us to get ready for your exam. General IELTS, gieltshelp.com, green background. All right. Ayush says, I was having my dinner. I missed my previous live. No worries, Ayush. You're here now, and that's what matters. Students, again, that code SPICE9, I put that into the chat with a little pepper. You can use that to save an extra 10% off of the premium IELTS. Again, not a lot of money. Academic IELTS help, general IELTS help. Those are the apps. Instagram is IELTS_AE help and GIELTS help. I will be putting the new schedule up on our Instagram and on the YouTube community post. So subscribe to the channel so you see the weekly live class schedule. A lot of people ask us, what's the schedule? It's on YouTube, it's on Instagram. If you have questions, send them to me, adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. It's the right place to be. Students, we've got no class 21st to the 24th, Sunday to Wednesday. That's the usual. And then speaking part 1 starting up on the 25th. So get ready for that. We've got this video. We've got another new one coming at you in the next 24 hours. There's one for you to check out later. I just put it into the chat. Now let's get into speaking part 3. Students, this is speaking. So speak and repeat. And remember the magic word, the big word of last class, my big tip. We had some fun with it while I was explaining it. And I was telling Fuang and Gopu and, well, Domenico, I said you don't need to worry too much about this as he already does it fairly well. What's the word? What's that word when actors and actresses overact or exaggerate their expressions, their intonation and enunciation? What's the word for that? What was the key word of the last class? Amra, that's right. Melodramatic. Very nice. Look at all of you paying attention. Whew. For a minute there, I thought I was talking to myself all these years. Now I don't feel so crazy anymore. I'll be happy to tell my mom about that. All right, everybody. Yes, it's melodrama. Melodrama, right? To overemphasize or exaggerate. Emotions, intonation, and enunciation. And why do we do it? What do you think? Why do we do it? Why would I tell you to do that? So when you are melodramatic, what happens? Maya says, we are not like robots if we are melodramatic. We can be melodramatic robots. We can be like, we are not robots when we are melodramatic. There are melodramatic robots. No, it's not just that you're not a robot, okay? Elizabeth says, to sound excited. Yeah, it's a bit of that. To sound more natural. Yes, you do. You sound more natural. You do sound more natural. And you sound more confident. You sound more fluent. Okay? All right. You just have better communication. All right. So when we do the volunteering today, everybody, and because this is kind of the final class of this week for live classes, we do have other classes coming for you and uploads. But for live classes, I want to do a lot of volunteering. I want to do a lot of practice. And I really want all of you to practice being melodramatic. Okay? All right? By the way, keep this in mind. And this is kind of a interesting thought that isn't easy or simple to think about. Your IELTS speaking interview is recorded. You probably know this. And if you ask for an ROI, okay, or EOR, sorry. So if you ask for an EOR, now an EOR in the IELTS is called an inquiry on results. Ooh, very technical and official sounding. So let's say you get a band 5 in your IELTS speaking, and you're like, no way, Jose, that was not a band 5. I was awesome. I should get at least a band 6.5. Then you have, I think, 2 weeks after your test to start what's called an EOR, an inquiry on results. And if you only need a half a band score improvement, it's not a bad idea to do that. It costs about $125 US. Okay, so it's not cheap. It's expensive, and you do it per section, right? So it's expensive. So if you want an EOR and you pay the $125, then another examiner, sometimes 2 other examiners, will listen to your recording. So you get recorded. So if you want an EOR, a different examiner will listen to the recording from your speaking interview. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, if you were melodramatic, you will sound much better on the recording. Okay? So the TV, the voice recorders, so these recording devices, the phone, they tend to act like a filter. So if you just kind of talk like everyday conversation, then when you listen to that on the recorder, it sounds quite flat. So it's like, my name is Adrian, and I came to the IELTS exam by car. Here is my ID. Please take a look at it. My hobbies include basketball and collecting stamps. And it's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to give you a 6.5 for that. So you want to be a bit melodramatic because it sounds better on the recording. That's kind of a weird one, right? But it's true. So that's just one simple reason to be a bit more, over the top. Okay, Elizabeth says, oh no, really? Yeah, practice melodrama. By the way, if don't let me convince you. Sometimes, it's like people are like, oh, but really, try it. Record yourself on your phone and listen, right? So The proof is in the pudding, everybody. Try it. Record yourself on your phone with and without melodrama and see the difference. Take up that challenge, then send me an email. Let me know what you discovered, okay? Yeah. Tan says Adrian might become a robot here. I might, Tan. I might actually be an android. Human-like robot. All right. So here we go, everybody. Let's get into IELTS speaking part 3. Questions, speak and repeat. We'll cover one question together in the chat, and then we will jump into volunteering. So here we go, okay? We talked about a time where I was early, and if you were in part 2 session before, you know that we talked about university final exams. Specifically, I spoke about biology exam. It was a third year biology exam. Okay. And now the examiner says, okay, your time is up. I'm taking back the questions. Please put the notepaper, the pencil to the side. We will now continue with part 3. Let's talk about time. Why is it important to be on time for appointments? Give me a nice full sentence for this one. I will do the same, and then we'll compare. I'm going to give you a band 9 level response. You do it also, and then we'll see who is doing it well and where we need improvement. Okay. All right, there's my answer. Let's see what you come up with, right? So why is it important to be on time for appointments? It's quite important to be punctual since it shows a level of respect and leads to productivity. Repeat after me, students. So you can read it and then try to repeat it as well. So it's quite important to be punctual since it shows a level of respect and leads to productivity. Punctual means to be on time. I mean that being on time shows the other person that they are valued, like going to a doctor's appointment and the patient can receive better treatment because there is no rush. Okay, good. Let's see what others have. Anna has this answer for us. Yeah, it's very important for some reasons. First of all, it's to show a future employee that a person is very responsible and has a positive habit of arriving on time. Yeah, Anna, try to use the word punctual and is punctual, right? And don't overuse the article. Careful with that. Secondly, it's saving time on the road. I'm not sure where the rest of that is, Anna, but okay. Nipa. In my opinion, being punctual, you have ample time, not you, Nipa, not you. A person. Okay, don't talk about your examiner. In my opinion, being punctual, a person has ample time to accomplish many tasks in the day, and it shows other people organization, and this is really important. And this is really important to be successful and achieve goals. This is the reason I always arrive to exams early. Okay, make that connection to part 2. Good. Chayani says, it is vital to be punctual. We don't need important because vital means important, Chayani. It is vital to be punctual for appointments, to manage time really properly. That is managing properly. So we don't need that part, as this leads us to be disciplined, used in the passive here. Not only about time and habit, but it can also maintain relationships. Chani, that's off topic. We're not talking about maintaining relationships. So to be on time maintains positive relationships because it shows respect towards others. I dumped my boyfriend last year because he kept showing up to our dates 10 minutes late. Okay, Chayani, there you go. So happens all the time, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend. Well, girls get a little bit more flexibility, I think, there, but boys, not so much. When boys show up late, it's the well, and when I was dating, that's usually meant that was my first and last date, showing up late. I was late because I was buying you flowers. Works once, not twice though, right? So and girls kind of know that one. They're like, I know that one. That's what guys like to say. You just grabbed those flowers out of that guy's lawn over there. I saw you rip it out of the garden. Okay. Oh, is it the dirt? So yeah, no. Maintain your relationships, right? Of course. Okay. Let's do this, everybody. Let's make it real. Let's talk. Okay. Let's do some volunteering. So we're going to speak to each other for real. And this is how you volunteer for speaking. We've got no moderators in the class. Where are these moderators? What are they doing? No, they're so consistent. I shouldn't complain. All right. So this is how you volunteer for speaking. Go to aehelp.com. Go to the website. That's step number 1. YouTube does not have a chat interface. Maybe one day, but not today. And then log into your My Student account. So if you have a My Student account, log in. If you don't, create one, make one. Click on Student Partner Speaking. Make sure your microphone is working. Test it out with other students. There are so many moving pieces. We are not Facebook with billions of dollars to make like a WhatsApp work kind of thing, but we do pretty good. And even WhatsApp doesn't work everywhere and anywhere, just like TikTok doesn't. And there's firewalls and all kinds of crazy systems. So go to aehelp.com. Click on the big red button to join the premium version of the course. It's up there. It's great. It's got lots of videos, over 100 speaking videos for you, HD format. Okay. It's got practice exams. We are world leaders when it comes to IELTS exam preparation, not just because we're funny, but because we actually use psychology and specialized education tools for teaching. And Fuang, you realized one of those the other day when you said, hey, wait a second, that reading is connected to another listening. Okay. But I digress. So you go to your My Student account. You've got your computer-based exams, your full online course, your study books, lesson plans, lesson videos, audio CDs. And over to the right here, you've got your student partner speaking. Right there. Okay. Let's click on that. All right, and you're in the chat, everybody. Look at all those beautiful people. You will see me in here. My handle is Master, all big letters, easy to see. Send me a message. Say, I'd like to volunteer, I want to volunteer, and then I can chat with you and assess your English and give you some feedback. Let's do this. So, Amra, I told you I'd be very attentive. Bolu, a new premium student, new name I haven't seen before. That's really great. Lots of volunteers. Fantastic. We've got lots of time, lots of speaking. Good. Amra, are you ready? I'm like shouting at Amra. Are you ready? All capital letters means you're shouting, by the way. I'm going to turn that caps lock off. Amra says yes.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Amra. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. What about you?
I am doing quite well. Thanks for asking, Amra. Amra, I know it's late for you in the day. What time is it for you?
No, it's not too much late. Actually, 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
in
Well,
our local time.
it's 9 a.m. for me, so compared to me, you're definitely a little bit later.
12 hours.
Yeah, almost, right? Amra, melodrama, a little bit more melodrama, okay? Just give it a sprinkle.
I will try that.
Give it a sprinkle, like a little sprinkle of melodrama. All right, let's do this. I'm going to ask you some questions. Give me some nice full sentence answers, Amra. You ready?
Yeah. Yes, I'm ready.
Good. Let's talk about time. Why is it important to be on time for appointments?
Being on time for appointments is crucial because it shows respect for other people's time and demonstrates punctuality and professionalism. It establishes trust and reliability, as it indicates that a person values the commitment and is willing to fulfill his responsibilities promptly. And for this reason, I got early to the interview, as I mentioned in the speaking part too.
What can help to make sure people are on time?
I think that setting reminders and alarms can be useful in keeping track of time and alerting individuals to upcoming appointments. Planning and organizing one's schedule in advance can also help in allocating enough time for each task, and also additionally practicing good time management skills, such as prioritizing tasks and avoiding procrastination, can also contribute to being punctual.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there for a second and give you some feedback. All right, Amra, first of all, fantastic. You're definitely in that strong band 8, 8.5 category. So you're absolutely between very good and expert user of the English language. 2 tips right away. So again, practice being melodramatic, because you tend to be on the flatter side at times, for sure, in your communication, and especially when we meet. So one point I didn't discuss so far about melodrama is we actually change our intonation depending on who we're talking to. So when we're talking to like other professionals, like an examiner, ironically, we tend to be kind of flat because we want to sound very thoughtful and very professional, right? When we're talking to our friends, and when we're talking especially to a potential partner in life, like a girlfriend or boyfriend, we tend to be way more expressive because we want to show emotion, and we naturally do this. This is part of our instinct. So when you meet the love of your life, you're like, hi, how are you? You suddenly become all bubbly and really happy. So that's natural. And you know, in your professional relationships, especially with clients and so on, you do want to be a little bit more on that emotional side. It's more effective. So practice that, Amra. The other important tip, Amra, is examples. Okay, you have to think of examples, especially when they are almost like they want to be included in the answer. Like we can feel like the example wants to be in this answer. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so the question is, why is it important to be on time for appointments? And you kind of started with the same as we were practicing. So being on time for appointments is crucial because it shows respect for other people's time. And then you use some really good English here. You said, and repeat after me, everybody, because Amra is using really nice English here. So Amra said, it establishes trust and reliability. Okay, that is great English. It's a very good answer for this question. And then you said, for this reason, I go early to the appointment, interview, it was, I believe.
Interview.
Yeah, careful with those awkward little grammatical mistakes. I went early, not I go early. Okay.
I went early.
Yeah. So making mistakes with simple verbs like go went, unfortunately, they will stop you from a band 9. Those are the band 9 stoppers. It's like you have great English. I want to give you the band 9, but I can't do it if you make a go went mistake. It's too bad, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say.
Yeah, I noticed that I have problems with some irregular verbs, especially. I need to revise them.
Good. Well, the first step is recognizing that you have difficulty, and it sounds like you're there. So the next step is just to correct. So what you want to do is anytime you speak English to anybody, and I can tell that you definitely have some people that you speak English with, and if you're using the website to talk to other students, tell them that when you get and this is for other students too. When you talk to each other in the website, then if you know your weakness, like let's say Fuang says, I know pronunciation can sometimes be my weakness. When you start, like let's say you and Fuang meet on the chat to do a bit of English IELTS practice, you can say to Fuang, I know I have some trouble with my irregular verbs. If you catch me doing that, please stop me and correct me. Right? And then Fuang can say the same. So before the two of you start, she can say, I know that sometimes my pronunciation is a bit off on some words. If you catch a word like that you don't know, you can't understand it, please stop me and tell me. Okay? And that's a really great way to actively fix those kinds of mistakes. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
All right. The other piece is the examples. I'm going to always work on those examples, okay? So here, the question is, what can help to make sure people are on time? And I think you have a really good answer explanation, and I'm just looking for that example. So you said, I think that setting reminders and alarms can be useful in keeping track of time. Keeping track of time, everybody. Again, some really nice English there by Amra. Alerting to upcoming appointments, some more nice English. Planning in advance and allocating enough time is really nice. Allocating means to give time. Okay, it's very nice. Now the third one, you're showing me good vocabulary, Amra, by saying avoiding procrastination, but you don't really need to. I already understood that you have band 8, band 9 vocabulary as your examiner, so you don't have to like overkill. You don't have to be like, I know the word allocating, and hey, guess what, I also know the word procrastination. It's like, no, I got you, you're band 9. So
Yeah.
instead of that like over the top vocabulary, more and more information or better information. You're going to use good vocabulary anyway. Okay. What do you
Okay.
use to help you plan time?
Yeah. As I mentioned, I use alarm. Like we have, I use alarm like on the laptop, either on the laptop or on my smartphone.
Very nice. Okay, now
And
that's what I want you to do. Okay, so what you're doing right now, and I didn't hear you say laptop and smartphone, and I didn't hear that correlative conjunction. So instead of procrastination, I would have liked to have heard that grammar and that example more. Okay, so saying like I set my alarm on either my laptop or smartphone with Google Calendar, as I did for this
yeah,
exam. Okay, so that would be a little bit better, or a lot better, I should say. Okay, than
yeah,
just
it
giving me
makes
more.
clear.
Yeah, exactly. It brings, as soon as we can create empathy and visualization for our listener, we're in the realm of great communication. Okay, so everybody, including Amra, please practice this sentence with me. I set my alarm either on my laptop or my smartphone with Google Calendar, as I did for this exam.
Um, can you repeat please again? I was in, there's an issue with internet connection.
Yep, absolutely. I set my alarm on either my laptop or my smartphone using Google Calendar, as I did for this speaking exam.
I set my alarm either on a laptop or my smartphone using Google Calendar, as I did for this IELTS speaking exam.
Okay, good. Now, the other reason, everybody, why you want to have these examples right away, starting from speaking part 1, is because it makes you see information. It makes you visualize. Like when I say this, I can actually see myself clicking Google Calendar and setting it up. So visualizing and seeing your communication makes you a much better communicator. Okay, Amra?
Okay, so
All right, Amra. Otherwise, I mean, hats off. Really great English. Just keep working on those points, okay?
okay, so thank you so much, sir.
You
Have a
are
good day.
you are very welcome. Have a great night and great rest of the weekend, Amra.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Bye for now. Let's give Amra a thumbs up. I was really pushing there, and yeah. All right. Let's try somebody else here. We haven't heard from a few people, but I'm looking for somebody new, and we got Mireille here, who I think might be new. Let's try Mireille. Mireille, are you ready? Hopefully Mireille is with us. I think I don't recognize the name, so maybe somebody new. And let's see if Mireille is still with us. Yes, Mireille says, yes, I'm here. Okay, Mireille.
Good evening.
Hi, Mireille. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. Mireille, is this the first time that we're communicating?
Yes, it's first time.
Well, good for you. Good for taking the time and the confidence to volunteer. That's what leads to success. Mireille, may I ask, where are you right now in this big world of ours?
I'm from Uzbekistan, from the capital, Tashkent.
From Tashkent. And
Yes.
why are you taking the IELTS exam?
This year I will graduate from my school and my future goal is to enter academic lyceum. That's why I need either IELTS or fill test form in the examination, and I choose the IELTS would be better for me.
Yeah, that's
That's why.
smart. That's smart. For multiple reasons. Your IELTS score is valid for 2 years. Okay.
Yes, and I will retake it. Oh, I'm sorry I interrupted
No,
you.
no, no. Do interrupt me. I like to talk, so interrupt me anytime. It's fine. The IELTS is it's the international test of English. So
Yes,
your IELTS score gives you much more than just entrance into one university. It actually is a key that can unlock a lot of doors, especially if you get a good score. Uh,
yes.
so so it's smart
I
to
was
take the IELTS.
thinking, I was thinking about it, and I just came from my main test, and on Monday it's my speaking test. So I'm worrying.
Oh, really? You already did your IELTS, the sitting part, the listening, reading, writing.
Yes, the main part was today.
Okay, well, fingers crossed. Hopefully, you get it. Tell us your score when you get it. Come back and share it with us. So your
Okay.
speaking test is Monday, so you will have your scores on Wednesday or Thursday online. You'll be able to see them.
Uh,
Okay. Hmm.
okay.
Do you have a question?
Um, I'm not taking CD. It's paper based. That's why they say that results will be on 2nd June.
Okay, yeah, yeah. That's one of the drawbacks of the paper base. It takes a little bit longer to find out what you did.
Yes,
There are advantages to it as well. So
it's for reading section.
yeah, for different reasons, but I won't get into
Mm,
too much of that right now. The speaking though is the
yeah.
same. The speaking doesn't matter if it's computer or paper based. It's both
Mm,
the same, right? So it's all good.
mm.
All right. Well, let me help you out here. We'll jump into some questions. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. Here we go. What can help to make sure people are on time?
Um, I think the right timetable would help people to uh, not be late for special places, and it would be important for them so they can follow their timetable and be everywhere on time.
How has keeping track of time changed in the last few decades?
Uh,
How has keeping track of time changed in the last few decades?
I'm sorry, I can't understand the question.
How has keeping track of time changed in the last few decades?
I'm really sorry, I can't understand.
What are the problems caused by arriving late to scheduled events?
One of the main reasons is the traffic jams on the road because people consider the right time and they don't know about the future events such as road issues. As I mentioned, one of them, the traffic jam. And the second reason may rely on the responsibility of people, because many people just think that they will not be late, but in real, they are not liable. So this may be some of the reasons.
All right, I'm going to stop there, give you some feedback, and
Yes.
and we'll go from there. Now, okay, to be fair, you're jumping into part three. We didn't start with part one or part two, so
Mm,
be cautious. In the real exam for you, it's very important that you go early, okay? Show up early to your exam about 1 hour before your speaking exam. Find some other candidates who are at the exam center waiting. Talk to them. Say, hey, let's practice some English. So don't, no Russian, no Uzbek, just English. And speak with them,
yes.
practice your English, and really focus on just some good ideas. So good answers,
Yes.
explanations, examples. Okay. Your
Okay.
score. Your score for this is about a 5.5.
Yes.
I'll tell you why.
I I hurried and I didn't answer the questions.
Yeah, so the biggest issue here is we're not, producing good answers. So you're fluent. You have some good vocabulary. I think you have a lot of English experience, and I do think that you should be closer to a band 7 for your score. But to get 7, your answers have to make sense. Like I have to know that you're answering the question accurately, right? So what can help to make sure people are on time? You said, I think the right timetable will help people to not be late for special places. So it's not special places, but special events, right?
Yes.
Right. And then you said, and it would be important for them so that they can follow their timetable. Try not to repeat words. What's another way to say timetable?
I was searching, but I thought big pauses may cause problems with my fluency.
Yeah, so you definitely want to avoid big pauses, especially ones that are clearly about searching for vocabulary or grammar. The word I think you're looking for there is schedule, right?
Yes,
Follow their schedule and be everywhere on time. Okay, and be everywhere. Try to stay away from these very global words like anything, something, everywhere, nowhere. Stay away from these kinds of words. They lower. Okay, so be at appointments.
Okay.
On time. Okay. And then again, anytime you get stuck, and this is important advice, it's the same advice I just gave Amra, right? You can always jump to an example. Do you have a calendar on your wall in your house?
Actually, no, I don't use calendar.
Okay, but you know what it is, right? So you can make it up, but this is what I would say here. I would say I have a wall calendar that helps me to be punctual. All right. So jump to an example. That can help. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The next question I asked you is, how has keeping track of time changed in the last few years? Do you know what it means to keep track of time?
Actually, no. That was a problem.
Yeah, I figured that. Keep track of time means to follow time. Okay. So
follow the time. Okay.
Yeah, to know what time it is. Okay. So unfortunately, the examiners can't really help you all that much, especially not in part 3, so they can just repeat the question. If you don't understand the question, then you did the correct strategy. You said, I don't understand this question. And you can finish by, you can say, I don't want to give you a strange answer. Please just ask me the next question, right? So you can, instead of getting the examiner to repeat, you can just say, I'm not sure what you're asking me. Can you just ask me the next question?
Okay.
You can ask them to paraphrase. They might not, or they probably won't, but you can say, can you paraphrase the question? I'm not sure what you're saying. Okay. Some examiners will just give you kind of a strange look and then go to the next question. Okay. It's present perfect. So you'd want to answer that in present perfect, but we won't deal with that right now. The next question, what are the problems caused by arriving late to scheduled events? You said it's traffic jams, right?
That's from my experience.
But that's not the question. The question is asking you, what are the problems caused by arriving late? So not what's causing you to arrive late. So you thought I was asking you, like, what's causing you to arrive late, and the traffic jam is causing you to arrive late. But that's not what I was asking you. I was asking you, what is the result of arriving late? Like, what's the problem that's created by arriving late, right? So here the answer could have been like, it leads to bad relationships, perhaps even getting fired from a job, or not being allowed to sit an exam, like in university final exams. It also leads to stress and a lot of rushing, right, and problems. So so that's what I was looking for here. So I realized that you were answering a different question. What happens in the IELTS, if you're off topic, okay, is the examiner will likely interrupt you and ask you again. If that happens in your test on Monday, if you're getting interrupted, what you should be thinking is, maybe it's a different question than what I'm thinking, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so consider that. So, what I want you to do on Monday when you have your test is really pay attention to those questions and what you're being asked, especially in part 3. I don't think you'll have any problem in part 1 and 2. In part 3, really pay attention to what they're asking you, okay?
Okay.
All right.
And I will try to turn my mind into English before entering the exam.
Yeah, that's why I said go early. Now, there is one more trick that you can use to help you, okay? And this is a really important one, okay? One way to avoid this mistake, and a lot of people make the mistake that you're making, one way to avoid it is use the question. So when the question is, what are the problems caused by arriving late to scheduled events? You can just start with the question. So say the problems caused by arriving late to places are being stressed. I know I get really nervous when I'm late for a test or an appointment. Also, it leads to disrespect. People can feel like they're not appreciated. When my boyfriend arrived late to our date, I thought it was because he doesn't like me anymore. So, well, yeah, we laugh, right? But that's, we take a page out of reality. So, so if you use the question, it can help you to stay on topic.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Okay, good job. Thank you for volunteering. Good luck on your test, and make sure to come back when you're done, Marae, and let us know how you did, okay?
Thank you for valuable advices. It
You're...
was my dream to participate.
Oh, I'm glad I was able to help you fulfill that dream. Thank you. I'm flattered.
I
Marae,
just hurried, that's why I couldn't answer properly.
but you know what? Your confidence is there, and that's great. That's the biggest and
Thank
first most
you.
important step. So that's great, Marae. Fingers crossed. I'm sure a lot of people are wishing you good luck. If you check the chat, you'll see a lot of people are saying best of luck. So we're there with you in
Thanks
spirit.
so much.
Okay. Bye, Marae.
Bye.
All right, that was good. Look at all those thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, good. Let's take somebody else here. Let's see how. Let's check in on Alexander here. We've got some time. Alexander, are you ready? We've got a good amount of time, everybody. So hang in there. Okay, I see some other new people. I believe Jaheda is new, or Yaheda. So we'll circle back there next. All right. So yes, Alexander.
Hello.
Hi, Alexander.
Hi, Adam.
How are you? I'm doing good, Alexander. Alexander, are you the punctual type?
Oh, I really try to be punctual because I do feel uncomfortable if I'm late, always.
Yeah, I get really nervous when I'm late, and of course, for me, karma blessed me with 2 beautiful girls, so I have 2 daughters. And being on time has become an exceptional challenge in my life. I'm going to be honest with you, Alexander. Three women, 1 man. It's tough. I try to leave about 2 hours early everywhere I go. So, Alexander, let's jump in.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you can. It's tricky. All right, Alexander, I'm going to jump into some questions. Are you ready?
Sure, of course.
Okay, let's do this. How has keeping track of time changed in the last few decades?
Well, let me think a bit. In the last 2 decades, I think people become more equipped with different tools to keep track of time properly. As you know, we all have mobile phones, laptops, additional equipment, electronic devices, which help us to keep track of time, to be in time, do not forget something, to have reminder about our schedule.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Sometimes ago, when I was actively working, I use schedule in my Outlook, so it was very convenient to avoid skipping all my meetings, so all my prepared, well-planned before events. At the same time, keep working procedure and send emails. Recently, I use my Apple phone, and all my schedule is registered in the Apple schedule, which connected to Google schedule, but I think Apple schedule is more convenient for me.
How do you think this will change in the future?
Well, quite obvious. We can forecast the development of these devices and these helpers for us. So it could be more visual reminders or some audio reminders when we use artificial intelligence or some assistants which can help us to make schedule even without inputting details, just from our voice, I guess. Hopefully not from our minds, but from our voice. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. Alexander, that was really good. What, you mean I still have to speak? I can't just think it? Alexander, come on. I just want to think it. I don't want to speak. It's too much energy. When I need to use my mouth? Seriously? Right. Hopefully not from our minds. I'm like, hopefully from our minds. I just want to think it.
From our dreams.
Yeah. The reality is, though, right, is our minds have a lot of information. Our mouth is a filter, right? So that's what people forget, is the mouth is a filter. If Google scheduled everything that was in my mind, I'd be in trouble. I'd have a very long schedule. So the mouth is a filter. All right. First of all, Alexander, brilliant ideas. I have to, take a page, everybody. It means copy what Alexander is doing here when you're speaking and communicating, in the sense of think before you speak. Okay. So notice how Alexander started quite slow and methodical. He said, well, let me think for a bit. And then I could tell you're still thinking. And then you said, in the last 2 decades, and I could tell you're still thinking when you said that. And it was good, because then you came up with a really good idea. You said people became more equipped, right? Use that present perfect. People have become more equipped. Right? Because the question's present perfect, so we really want to just stick the present perfect in wherever we can. Have become more equipped with different tools to keep track of time properly. Really good. And then you said, as you know. As you know it's a dangerous phrase, because sometimes we don't know. In this case, it was okay, though. So when it's used correctly, it's good. It is a phrase. There is a place for it. You just have to be very careful where you use it. Here we do know. So here, I mean, it would be silly to say we don't know about mobile phones and laptops. So here you used it correctly. As you know, we all have mobile phones and laptops, and that's good. And other electronic devices which have helped, right? So here's another place I could stick in that present perfect, which have helped. Good use of the adjective clause, which have helped to keep us on time. Not keep us to be, just keep us on time. Now, this is where you started to kind of just explain. So I jumped in and I said, can you give me an example, right? And that's what examiners do. When they feel like there's just too much explanation, they will jump in and say, can you give me an example? So here, you were quick.
I forgot to move to sample, as you always recommend.
Right. It's hard to change habits. Exactly, Alexander. So you said, sure, some times ago. The correct expression is some time ago, not sometimes ago, some time ago. Okay, so just repeat after me. Sure, some time ago.
Sure, some time ago.
When I was actively working.
When I was actively working.
I used to schedule with Microsoft using Outlook.
Yeah, I used to schedule with Microsoft using Outlook.
Okay, good. And then you gave me a good example to be on time for meetings. And then you said recently I use Apple. Once you start your example and you finish it, like you're talking about Microsoft Outlook, just stop. Again, you don't want to keep going with Apple and Google Calendar and whatever else you might get into. So that was fine. So then I got to this next question. How do you think it will change in the future? And you said, well, quite obviously. Okay, the expression here is quite obviously, not quite obvious, quite obviously.
Obviously, okay. Quite obviously.
All right. Again, careful with these as you know and quite obviously, they can start to get awkward after a while, so be careful with it. But it was, I think it's fairly obvious. We do have a lot of this in the media these days. You said we can focus to the development. It's on the development.
On the development.
Of these devices. They can be more visual and audio reminders. We can use artificial intelligence, hopefully not from our minds. Yes, that was very clever. Artificial intelligence that understand our behaviors, our responsibilities, and can schedule our tasks before we even think about them, right? Like telling us when to go shopping for food that already exists.
Have some walking to get 10,000 steps per day.
Exactly. That's a beautiful example there, Alexander. So like reminding us to get at least 10,000 steps per day for health. I know my watch does that, right? Do you have an Apple Watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple Watch, yes.
In your watch, and your watch in a very diplomatic way is like, you what does it say? Something like exercise recommended. Right?
Yes, it's already appeared, I think, but not so widely available. I'm
just waiting. Yeah, exactly, Alexander. I'm just waiting for the watch to be like, keep doing this and you will die young. It's like
yes, I think like tobaccos. Yes, it should be more direct.
Yeah. Stop smoking or you will die in 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Very serious. Yeah.
It is. I think we'll see tobacco smoke kind of disappear. In Canada, it's really starting to disappear with the new generation. So it's good. Okay, Alexander, really good. Again, same advice. Don't forget those detailed examples, okay? And enunciate. Pacing is good. It's good to think. When you do get the idea, then just emphasize it a bit, okay?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the content.
All right.
Very
Thanks
nice
a lot.
to hear.
Thanks, Alexander.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Alexander. Very good. All right, let's give Alexander a thumbs up. Working hard to improve his English, and it is. All right, we all improve. We all get better and better with practice. The proof is in the pudding. I definitely liked Alexander's ideas. They were very accurate, methodical. All right, Jahida. I think it's a new name. Let's try somebody who might be a little bit new to this. Are you ready? And take notes, students. So when I'm giving detailed feedback on correcting a preposition or a word form, like obviously instead of obvious, then write down those corrections, okay? So write down the specific, small, kind of detailed corrections, and also write down the main ideas. One good way to do it in these live classes, everybody, is to have kind of like a note paper, and I have a feeling some of you are doing this where you take notes, and you can have 2 columns, so specific English, and then you can have general strategies like that in your note paper. And then what you can do is in the specific English, you can say, for example, like, well, obviously. Okay, and then in the general strategies, you might be able to do something like careful with phrases like as you know. Okay. All right. So you can have general strategies, specific strategies. In these lessons, I always try to give you a bit of both. So specific would be like words, grammar fixes. General strategies would be like concepts in communication and effective communication. Okay, Nipa says okay. So it's one good way to separate that out. All right, not sure what happened to Jaheda, but I don't think Jaheda's there anymore. Let's try Bandari. Bandari, are you there? And are you ready? Yeah, exactly. Fong. The examiner might say, I don't know. Right? I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not from here. Oh, Jaheda seems to have come back. And Jaheda's like, well, I just missed it. Okay, Bandari, if you're there, I'll give you a couple more seconds and I can bounce back to Jaheda. And by the way, if you don't see what's going on, just refresh the page, okay? So if you got disconnected, do a refresh, right? Okay. Jaheda says yes, so let's try Jaheda. Or Jaheda, I'm not sure. Hi, Jaheda.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I am doing great. First, Jaheda, am I pronouncing your name okay?
Yes, it's okay.
How do you pronounce it?
It's okay.
Is it Jaheda?
Yes, it's Jaheda.
Jaheda. Okay, so it's okay. Good. All right, Jaheda, first time. Welcome.
Yes, sir. First time.
Welcome. Where are you?
I'm from Bangladesh.
Can you say that one more time? What country are you in? Jaheda, make sure you're using the website, not YouTube, to listen to me. Otherwise, there's going to be a delay. So try to mute YouTube and just use the audio through the website. Okay. So where are you and why are you taking the IELTS exam?
I'm from Bangladesh. Actually, I want to go abroad to pursue my graduation. That's why I'm taking IELTS.
Okay. And what do you plan to pursue in your graduate courses?
Actually, I want to do my MBA at Newfoundland University. That's why I will sit for the IELTS exam so
Okay.
that I can do my position there.
Awesome. MBA in Newfoundland. Cool. Right on. Well, I will help you a bit with that. Let's jump into some questions. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's talk about organization.
Okay.
What do people usually keep organized?
Can you repeat? I don't.
Yeah, what do people usually keep organized?
Let me think. I think if people want to organize themselves, they have to maintain they have to maintain a particular schedule. Also, they a particular schedule, and they can also set reminder like their mobile phone, or they can also they can also mark date on wall calendar.
How have organizational methods improved over the past 10 years?
Sorry.
How have organizational methods improved over the past 10 years?
Improves. Sorry, sir. I can't answer it properly. Can you ask me another question?
Some people believe that being organized has an impact on thinking. Do you agree with this?
Yes, I think organization help with thinking. If we if we organized about an event which if we think about an event which
Oh, I think we just lost Jaheda. I'm not sure what happened there, Jaheda, but I think our connection got cut off there, and she's no longer here. Hopefully we didn't scare her away. Jaheda, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to get stuck. All right, never be scared of mistakes, everyone. Mistakes are good. That's how we learn. Okay, we learn through our mistakes. So I'll give you a bit of feedback. I'm not sure if you're still listening to me, Jaheda, but I'll give you a little bit of feedback. First of all, you used one good strategy there when you said, I'm not sure what you're asking me. Can you just go to the next question? That was smart. Okay, don't give silly answers. Don't waste time, right? Let the examiner ask you another question so that you can answer well. Again, students, pay close attention. So this is an important tip. And it's the second time this class I'm giving this tip. This is a really important tip. So you must answer the question accurately. So there are a couple ways to do this, right? And remember what I said before to her name was Mirani, I want to say, from Uzbekistan. Remember the advice that I gave? What is a really good strategy to make sure that you're answering the question correctly? So even if you misheard it or misunderstood it, there's a way that you can kind of figure it out. Anybody remember what that is? So how do you help yourself to be on the right answer? Mireille. Yeah, it was Mireille. What can you do? You can tell me this in the chat. That's why I'm looking down. I'm looking at the chat right now and seeing what you tell me. Elizabeth says examples. It's not examples, okay? So use the question in your answer, okay? All right. Super important tip. Okay. So what do people usually keep organized? Well, let me think. Okay. And then here, if you're having trouble, if you're like, what is this question? What are they asking me? Use the question. People, because once you start saying it, you start to realize that, oh, that's what I'm being asked. People usually keep organized their daily schedule, also their home and their workplace. I keep my shoes in the same place as well as my keys, so I don't have to waste time looking for them whenever I go out. Okay, so that would be a good answer for that. And the way that I can think about that is by using the question. Okay, so what do people usually keep organized? Well, let me think. People usually keep organized their room, their computer, so they can find files and projects. Yeah, I always clean up my desktop every Monday and put all of my work into the correct places, hard drives, folders, so that I can easily access them when I need to use them and communicate to other members in my company and to other family members, right? So I use the question to generate the ideas, okay? Got it? Everybody says got it, okay? Paraphrasing, Chayani, is the more advanced way to do it, and you can do it by paraphrasing. However, the safest way is just to restate, okay? And it's okay to do that, all right? Let's try somebody else here. Layla, very patient. We haven't heard from Layla in a while. Layla, are you ready? Let's see if Layla's there. Layla, give me a sign. Layla, if you're ready, let me know. Layla says yes. Layla says yes. Hi, Layla. Layla says yes.
Hello. Is it?
Hi, Layla. Layla says yes.
Hello. Is it
Leila, mute YouTube.
working?
It is working. Just mute YouTube. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm very glad that everything is technically correct.
Are you using a VPN?
No, sometimes I'm just have some problems with Wi-Fi connection.
Got you. Leila, are you in Uzbekistan also?
No, I'm in Kazakhstan.
You're in Kazakhstan. Okay. All right. And how are your studies going?
Well, it is quite well. Now I'm passing my exams. Hope to end all exams and eventually start to rest.
Good. That's good. That's positive news. All right. Leila, are you ready to jump into a couple of questions?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it. What do people usually keep organized?
Well, as I noticed during my life, people try to keep in tidy way their home, especially if it is a women. And if it is not a woman, they try to keep in an appropriate way their car, especially salon. And I keep in organized way my projects because it is really important to find everything as fast as I can, and it is really save my time. And I think other students also try to organize everything in their computer projects and works because it is really influenced to their study.
Why is it good to keep these organized?
I keep it organized because it is save my time and also makes me more productive and successful when I prepare to the different presentations and other works. Also,
some people believe that being organized has an impact on thinking. Do you agree with this?
undoubtedly, organized people is more strategical thinkers because they try to solve everything and be in a few steps forward than other people. Also, organized person, it is a really perspective worker because it will be he will be always in time because these type of workers try to organize time and lifestyle. That's why there's work more flawless.
Okay, let's stop there for now. Really good. Okay, I like it. I love your thinking and your fluency. So you have all kinds of great ideas. And you just want to work on expressing them better and better, okay? So your fluency was quite good. I think your fluency was about a 6. I would say that was fluent. You more or less speak effortlessly, continuously. Your vocabulary was about a 6, so it was fluent vocabulary. It wasn't great, and I'll show you why, but it was fluent. It was good. Your coherence was about a 6 as well. Your grammar was a little bit closer to a 5 for accuracy. Your grammatical range was about a 6. So I think overall you would get about a 6 for that, okay, Lila? Let me give you a couple of specific tips on how you can improve this quickly, okay? So The first question I asked you is, what do people usually keep organized? I like how you really gave your like a natural, original style of speech. It was really good. You said, well, as I noticed during my life, I thought that was a really good leading expression. You said people try to keep in tidy ways. Good idea for the vocabulary, but not quite accurate. Now, in these practice sessions, that's what you want to do. You want to test it. Am I using this vocabulary correctly? Adrian will correct it if it's not, right? To keep tidy means to keep organized. So you're correct. That is the concept. But we don't say keep in tidy ways. Just simply keep tidy. Okay. You don't want to overcomplicate these expressions. Okay. So people try to keep tidy their home, or keep their home tidy. Okay. Can you repeat this after me? People try to keep their homes tidy.
People try to keep their homes tidy.
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 There you go. It's a very E-ish sound. It's a tidy. So people try to keep their homes tidy.
People try to keep their homes tidy.
Now, I really liked what you're like, especially if they're women. Yeah, maybe. I mean, in my house, it's usually me. but maybe it's true. IELTS examiners don't judge you. So if you say that kind of idea, fine, whatever, not a big deal. It's often true. And then you said if it's not women, so I guess you're referring to men, then they try to keep their cars tidy. Maybe my car is a mess with my 2 kids, but yeah, okay, sure. And that's what came to your mind, so that's what you expressed, which is fine. Don't worry about the actual information. Just make sure you're using some clear English, and simplify it. Sometimes you're adding a lot of extra little words like articles and participles when you don't need them. Okay, so people try to keep their homes tidy, especially women.
People try to keep their homes tidy, especially women.
Okay, so as you're practicing at home, record yourself and really pay attention to taking out these unnecessary articles and conditionals and participles where they're not needed, and then that will clean up your grammar and your communication, and your score will improve. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Overall, quite good though. Okay, so you're going in the right direction. All right. And one more quick tip: avoid these words like everything. Okay, whenever you want to say everything, use a better noun. So I think as a student, I also try to organize all of my assignments.
As a student, I also try to organize all of my assignments.
Okay, much better than saying everything. It's like, everything? Really? So all of my assignments, much better. So always find that better word, okay?
Okay.
All right, good work. Keep it up. Layla, we'll talk again. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, Andrian.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.
All right, that was Layla. Let's give her a thumbs up in Kazakhstan. Yeah, really good. Okay. Looky, here's a premium student who I don't think we've spoken to before. Hadika, are you there? Let me know. Thanks for all the thumbs up, everybody. Yeah, avoid those generalized terms like everything, all things. I know it's kind of the easy word when you don't know what the word is, but try to avoid it. Okay. All right, Hadika, let's do this.
How are you?
Hi, Hadika. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for asking.
Great. Hadika, this is our first time interacting, right?
Totally. I just signed up 5 minutes ago.
Oh, really? Did you just buy our premium course 5 minutes ago?
Yes, I did.
Well, thank you for that. You're helping us help you, Hadika. That's awesome. And here you are practicing already. Now, that's the key to mastering IELTS fast. All right, that's great.
For sure. Yeah.
Hadika, where are you right now?
I am from Pakistan.
From Pakistan. And why are you taking the IELTS?
I'm planning to move to UK for my higher education, so it's kind of a requirement by university. So yeah, that's why.
It's not kind of, it's like the requirement, right?
Exactly.
It's
But
like,
some universities like they do exam the IELTS for you if you have like a proficiency certificate from your university.
yeah.
But the university I'm applying for, they're asking for a certain IELTS, so I have to give it.
Yeah, it's like show us your transcripts, show us IELTS. Those are the two big ones for sure. Yeah, and then your statement of intent or purpose if you're doing graduate studies, absolutely. And again, I said this earlier too. The IELTS makes a lot of sense because if you decide to apply to a different university or transfer, then there's always a chance that they're like, okay, now you need the IELTS if you didn't do it yet. So yeah, so it's good. Okay, well, let me help you with that. Let's jump into some questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Let's talk about organization. What do people usually keep organized?
I would like to say that people organize a lot of things in their daily life, be it their cupboards, be it their study tables, be it their inventory or any kind of kitchen items. And I personally like to keep organized my study table as it keeps me focused and helps me think straight.
Why is it important to keep these organized?
Um, I personally believe that it helps you stay disciplined, and discipline is really important in life, wherever you want to go. And it helps you stay focused and concentrate. It helps you concentrate on the work you are doing, and so yeah, that's why organization is important.
How have organizational methods improved over the past 10 years?
It's the era of technology, and organizational methods have changed a lot. If you have a phone, let's say if you want to organize your schedule, you can create a checklist on your phone, prioritize your task according to the priority, and check them off as you are doing them. So they keep you organized by keeping whole day organized. So there are a lot of apps for them. I usually use the Google Notepad for it, and it really helped me with the daily task.
Very nice. All right, I'm going to stop there and give you feedback. All right, that was great. First of all, I think you have just some fantastic English, definitely a strong 8 to 9. So I would grade you at an 8.5 even for that.
Awesome.
There are a couple, yeah, so you're definitely in that very good. So I think on the low end, 8, on the high end, 8.5, not quite a 9. I'll explain why that is momentarily, but you definitely seem to have, like, you have a lot of experience with English. Have you lived in an English speaking country?
You can say that, like, during my studies, we usually have English speaking teachers, so you have to communicate.
Yeah. So you have had what's called English immersion, where you're completely surrounded by English. It makes a big difference for sure.
Yeah.
And if you have that opportunity, take it for sure. Okay. So I can tell that by your fluency, by your grammar range and accuracy, and your natural use of language. So those are all band 9. Okay. Your fluency, natural use of language, these are all outstanding. They're at the expert level. What I would like to see more from you is some better range of vocabulary and better content. Okay. And when we get into the band 8, band 9 levels, that's really what it's about, is content. Content is king. Okay. So it's not just how you're saying it, because how you're saying it is a 9, but it's what you're actually saying. Okay. So the first question I asked you is, what do people usually keep organized? And you said, I would like to say, it's okay to use that kind of modal once or twice, but in good communication, you want to use affirmative language. That means language that's confident. So instead of saying, I would like to say, you can use, from my experience, people organize a lot of. At your level, you should never be using the word things or stuff. You should always find the better replacement. So organize a lot of aspects of their life. Okay?
Noted. Yes.
Okay, a lot of aspects of their life. And then rather than making like a long list, like cupboards, like bedrooms, like computers, try to be a little bit more tactful with your grammar. So say, for example, whether it's physical organization of cupboards or non-physical. Now, if you have the vocabulary, you can say abstract or abstract organization of thoughts and responsibilities. People keep track of a lot of variables. Okay. I personally like to keep my notes and my schedule organized, as it helps me to think straight. And that was really nice. I really liked how, and this is a good tip for everybody, so take a page here. This was done really well. I really liked how you are a visual thinker. So you right away jumped to that personal example of how this is in your life. And you did that for all the questions. So in the next question, you did a really good job of saying Google Notepad. I usually use Google Notepad for that, and it helps me to stay organized. That was excellent. So that's a really good part of your speaking. Okay. All right. So just try this, and this repetition is for everybody. So in my experience, people organize a lot of aspects of life, whether it's physical organization of cupboards or abstract organization of thoughts and responsibilities. People keep track of many variables. I like to organize my schedule so that I can think straight.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Just repeat it. Try to repeat it. What do people usually keep organized?
I would like to say that people organize a lot of aspects of their life, whether it's physical organization of cupboards or abstract organization of thoughts and responsibilities. People keep track of a lot of variables. I personally like to keep
track of my schedule.
Okay, I personally like to keep a track of my schedule. It helps me think straight.
Good. Okay. So avoid stuff, go for those specific nouns, and don't make long lists. Instead, focus on good grammatical emphasis. Okay. Like whether, or, both, and, not only, but also. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I think you're going to do fantastic on your test. Do you have a test date?
I'm planning to take it by the end of this month.
Okay. All right, Hadika, practice those points. Practice part 2. Practice speaking about people, objects, places, events, ideas for part 2. Use the premium course that you just signed up for. If you have questions, send us those questions. If you want to book a full IELTS speaking interview, you can do that by clicking that yellow button up there. Okay?
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Adrian.
All right. Hadika, keep it up and come back in the live classes. Keep practicing, okay?
I will, for sure.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Hadika. Bye for now.
Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. That was really good. Some really nice English. Yeah, absolutely. Good job, Hadika. Great. Content for those high-level students. Content. Choice of words, okay? All right, students. Again, this is for everybody, so you can practice with each other, okay? So, Chayani, you can reach out to Rakim. Looks like Rakim wants to practice, and keep going, okay? We will pick it up from here on Thursday with speaking part 1. Thank you for those of you who participated, and for our members. You're all awesome. This is the website. This is where Adika signed up, and where you can too, and do exactly what she does. Start using the course right away. So click that Join Now button, and you're in the right direction. General IELTS, it's the green background, okay? Next week we'll have task 1 and more reading as well. Okay, so come back for those classes. Lots of videos in your premium package, HD videos. AEhelp.com, GLShelp.com. I'm Adrian, and I'm signing out for now, but I look forward to seeing you in the coming week. Much love to all of you, wherever you are. Bye, everyone.